I have been doing so many things this week that average person would have gave up. Average person would have shed some tears, which I did. But average person would have said, forget this. So I was in an accident about 2 weeks ago. And y'all know with the insurance and everything, it can be a brawl. Went up to get my rental. And I'm telling you, I was there for 3 hours. My phone was going dead. Although I had charged it to 50%. I'm sorry. See, I'm everywhere. And long story short, like, I just still had favor during that process. You know, even though I had a lot of time that I invested in this process, although, you know, hey, I had to go up to Caliber Collision 3-4 times and it's like 35 minutes away. Don't get me wrong, I was tired. I'm tired now, but I still found favor and saw favor through this situation even now. Thank God insurance was together. Thank God the other party had insurance. Thank God, you know, hey, I wasn't severely injured. You just have to show favor in God. You know, yeah, I've shed a few tears because I'm human. I have emotions. It's like a new start, getting a new vehicle, all of that, you know, but I still see the favor in God. I still see how much he's blessed me, even with me being able. Like I say all the time, sometimes you have to be thankful that you're simply able, even if it's your last. You know, as long as God gives you another day, you can save another dollar. You can make something else happen. You can create an ebook. You create a virtual class. You could speak motivation and positivity to your surroundings, supporters. It is just amazing that I'm still able. You have to find favor in God, knowing that, hey, he is going to carry you through. He is going to make things more settled. He is going to put all the wrath away and take all the anger out of it and, you know, switch it around. When I was at Enterprise, it took 3.5 hours for them to give me a rental. And then the gentleman came around who was more experienced and he said, you know what? By the book, you're not even supposed to be paying anything because you were not at fault. Now, this is 3 hours later. I done went down to the ATM about a few feet away from the building to make sure my car worked. My car failed. It was just so much going on. But you know what one of the representatives said when they walked me out to my car? He say, you remained happy through it all. Verbatim, you remained happy through it all. And I had to kind of sit back even in that moment. And even in that moment, even with me knowing, hey, I was saying through the process, God is going to work it out. God is going to work it out. I still had began to lose a little bit of faith. Naturally, I'm saying 3.5 hours. My card wouldn't go through. I done called the bank 3-4 times. I done used the saleswoman's office phone. You know, it was just an average moment where a person would have said, hey, I'm embarrassed, or, you know, they probably think I'm broke, or, you know, they probably think I'm playing games at this rental place. But I knew in my heart what was really going on, and even then God showed favor. The woman was able to give me her charger to ensure my phone was charged. The woman was able to allow me to use her office phone to get in contact with my bank. You know, so many aides were there to help me even in that moment. So it took away the fluster of, okay, phone gonna need charging soon. It took away the fluster of, oh, I just don't have no money. I carry very little cash on me. But the point is that, you know, they didn't accept cash. But I saw so much favor, y'all. Like, I was just thankful and grateful that everything worked out. And yeah, it took me some time, but guess what? I'm still here. I'm still able to speak positivity to you all. I'm still able to hop on here and speak a word of life to you. And so even though I had to take away a little bit of time from the YouTube, although I've been posting pretty much every day. It's just, as you all can see, I had posted later the last few days. I still made it happen, even if it was a snippet, even if it was a piece of motivation, something to keep you all going, to let you all know I'm still here. I'm not backing out. You know, it was delayed, but it wasn't deleted. It was delayed, but not deleted. So I just want to say that you have to find favor in all situations. I'm just thankful in my life right now how God is just revealing things to me. Life is teaching me to be patient. Life is teaching me to take a deep breath. Life is also teaching me that not everything is in your hands. Like we say it all the time. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or if it's not in your hands, can't do nothing about it. If it's outside of your control, you naturally can't do anything about it. But God can. Even in that situation, yeah, it took me resilience. It took patience. It took me to be kind. It took me to be positive. And it took 3.5 hours of my time, but I still, as that gentleman said, I remained happy through it all. He didn't say nice, which I was nice, but happiness kind of overflows with niceness. Happiness will allow you to be nice. Happiness will allow for you to have a sound mind and be more patient. It will allow for you to do the unthinkable things. Wow, you know, she didn't have an attitude. She was kind. She didn't act like we owe her something. She wasn't throwing papers over the counter. You know, so even in that moment, I was complimented and doing right in God and doing right in my soul and just remaining resilient. See, sometimes you have to be resilient. You do have to wait. Like I always speak on, things are not just going to take place right away. Things are not just going to take place right away. But God worked it out. I didn't have to come out of pocket hundreds of dollars. I didn't have to, you know, pay a $250 deductible. You know, I didn't have to, you know, hey, well, we can't do anything for you unless you pay this additional money. They don't accept cash. My card was blocked at the rental place. So once again, I couldn't swipe my card. My credit card worked for what I needed to pay for, thank God, you know. But as I'm getting back to, I still showed resilience. I still showed favor. I didn't change my attitude. I didn't change my aura. I didn't start being mean to people. I didn't start acting silly. I didn't start disrespecting my temple. I didn't start disrespecting people. I remained resilient and positive, even though I had tears coming down my face outside when I was taking a breather. But I remained respectful. I remained resilient, and I remained patient. And so that comes with favor in God. You got to have favor in God. This is like the number one thing, your mindset. Your mindset. If I would have went in there and acted up and, oh, no, well, I didn't hit me anyway, and it's not my fault anyway. Kicked out, police would have been called, the whole nine. But the fact that I was able to hear that back through someone I had never seen, and he said, you remained happy through it all. Who gonna be happy when they at a rental place for 3.5 hours? You gonna want a discount, which I didn't have to pay nothing anyway. But you gonna want a discount. You gonna want to speak to the manager. You gonna want a letter. You gonna want to write a letter to the CEO. 3.5 hours. Especially if you in your main city. It's not like I was traveling or anything. This is just day to day, 30 minutes away from my home. But I showed favor. And so I want you all to do that, even when it's hard, even when you're mad, even if you don't like the person, you don't like what's happening. You like, oh my gosh, I got things to do. Like, I got children, so I definitely have things to do. You know, I didn't let none of that get in my way. Thank God my children were out of school that day. But what I'm getting to is thank God that I didn't let it overpower my goodness and the goodness that we have with God. It didn't let me shun my own blessings. It didn't kick me out of a spot. It didn't kick me out of favor. It didn't kick me out of, you know, having too much pride. It's just, I was resilient. I was patient. I remained humble. I was respectful. And I had favor. And God worked it out, but it taught me patience and resilience. And when you handling business, things typically take a long time. Let's be real. When you're handling any type of business, they might say an hour or two. You're going to be there for 3-4 hours. So I learned. And I just wanted to share this with you all because it was still a blessing that God made a way with all the things I could have complained about, everything that I could have just threw to the side and stormed out and got mad about. I didn't do that. I remained happy through it all. And so you all be encouraged. I'm glad that I was able to check in with you all, give you a little update, and share a word of God about God's favor. You all be blessed.